Anyways, a couple of these happened today, like 2 of them. Okay, so the first one was in my English class, which is the second to last class before the end of the day. And I had an assignment that I completed for once in my freaking life. I completed the assignment, forgot to get it out of my locker. Because I thought I had it in my folder, but I didn't. So I'm like, Miss M, can I go pick it up from my locker? And I'm calling her Miss M because I'm not saying her name. I'm like, Miss M, can I go pick it up from my locker because I forgot it in my locker? She's like, no, you should have come to class on time. And I'm like, one time I frickin' remember to do my stuff. She's like, no, you can't get it from your locker. No, you gotta be prepared. And a lot of kids actually had their stuff done, but they left it in their lockers as well. I'm like, don't tell me this is going to be late, because if it's going to be late, I'm just going to say, it's the teacher's fault it's freaking late because she wouldn't let me go out and get it from the locker. Because usually she's like, yeah, sure, go really quick, get it out from your locker. Our lockers aren't that far away. See, here's the classroom. Here's like a block thing from the hallway. You literally go around the block thing and boom, there's the 7th grade lockers. You could have let me go and grab my thing from the locker. It's that simple. I'm getting too tall for this camera. Well, this setup in general. Second one also came from today. It was in facts class, which was last class in the end of the day. And I'm going to be referring to the teachers as the first letter of their first name. Oh, well, say the teacher's name is Miss Artsy, I would refer to her as Miss A. Don't worry, I don't have any teachers that are like that. So, I'm going to be referring to my facts class teacher as Mrs. G. Now, she has a helper in the room. I'm going to call her M. I know I'm kind of being lazy, but I can't think of names at the moment. So, one of my friends who's sitting next to me gives me 2 rubber bands to tie up in my hair because it was like a little challenge thingy because they couldn't put them in their hair. I'm like, amateurs. And I put them in my hair and then I took them out. There's this kid next to me. He somehow acquired a rubber band and was shooting it at people with his pencil. And all of a sudden, M comes over and she's like, give it here. And I'm like, don't tell me I have to give mine over. I wasn't doing anything. And then she turns towards me and she's like, give it here. I don't want to see it for the rest of the day. I'm like, okay. So I take them off of my 3 fingers because I attached them to my fingers because I wanted to. So I took them off my fingers, handed them to her, and my brain's like, I wasn't even shooting them at people. I was just sitting there, freaking tying up my hair and crap. And now you're like, no. You don't get those anymore. Because this one student's like, no. So I'm like, and the kid who gave them to me also had theirs taken away. I'm like, why? Ugh, hate these teachers. But they give me education, so. And I had this one teacher in like 6th grade. She starts with a G as well. I'm gonna call her Ms. G. Even though she was a Mrs. I'm gonna call her Ms. G. So, she was our homeroom teacher and our social teacher. Well, history teacher, basically. And she was kind of mean. I'm not gonna lie, she was kind of mean. So, basically, one day in class, I was sitting there, not doing a single thing, and a because, like, sometimes when I don't know the answer, I'll be like, okay, I don't know the answer. Let's not raise my hand. And I wasn't raising my hand. I was sitting there, and I kind of zoned out for a bit, and I'm like, God, I gotta stretch. So as she was asking the question, I just stretched on out. And then she's like, Holly, I'm like, me? She's like, yes, what's the answer to state capital of Florida? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, well, you should have been paying attention. She didn't teach us what that topic was at all. I'm like, I should be paying attention. What? You didn't teach us this, so get out of here with your baloney. And there was this another thing that still ticks me off to this day with Ms. M. I'm not done with her yet. Alright, so she was also our science teacher for the other half of the quarter. So it's science class. She was talking about how we were going to, this is the key, listen carefully. She was talking about how we, listen closely, we were going to try out different types of meat to see if it really did all taste like chicken. I'm like, that sounds delicious. I would love to do that. Like, the different types of meat were peacock, alligator, goat, pig. I can't remember the rest, but then one of them was like chicken. Snake was one of them. And all of a sudden, this kid in my class, we'll call him L because his first name starts with an L. He gets up, and then we all start getting up to go to our lab tables, which are in the room behind us. And we already had our lab groups because we need those at the beginning of the year. So we all get up, and we start heading over to our tables, and she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you all doing? And she gives us this look like, did I tell you to get up? Did I tell you we were doing this right now? And Elle turns around and is like, I thought we were doing the experiment. And she's like, oh, no. No, we're not doing the experiment. You sit your butts back down. We sat down on the frickin' floor, because that's how our tables were set up, on the floor, and I hated it. So we were all on the floor. She said, you guys aren't going to be doing the experiment. Kay, listen. Y'all aren't going to be doing the experiment. You're going to be watching some people do the experiment. I'm like, what? And, like, all the other students were talking at their table like, are you kidding me? Why? She was insinuating that we were going to do it. But then she's like, no. You're going to watch some people do it. Hold on, I need to friggin' kick something for a second. Alrighty, I'm done. One last story before I go. It's going to be 10 minutes long, but I don't care. Friggin', this isn't the last of Ms. M. No. This other thing. This ticked me off so much that I cannot forgive her. Alright, so this was taking place in science class again. And she said that we all were going to be doing an experiment because we had separate periods, and I think we were second period. And we could get the vibes that she hated second period, which was us. I'm like, I can get the vibes that she hates us because of all the boys who won't stop frickin' talking. So she says we're going to do this experiment, and she said everyone's going to need to bring in some plastic water bottles. Here, let me see if I can find one that's around the size. I didn't find one that was exactly the size, but just cut this down to right here and take the top and put it down here, and that's the size you need. And each period was supposed to bring their own water bottles. First period was lazy and didn't do that. And later in the year, I asked one of my friends in first period, like, hey, weren't we all supposed to do that experiment with, like, the water bottles and experimenting with different chemicals and stuff? And they're like, oh yeah, first period did that. Did second period not do that? And I'm like, no. And so I asked third period, I'm like, weren't we supposed to do this experiment, test chemicals and crap with water bottles? And they're like, uh-huh. We didn't get to do that. I'm like, first period did, and second period didn't. And neither did you guys. So what's going on here? And so I got the insinuation. Second period was the only one who brought in the water bottles for their class. My class. This cruel woman freaking was like, no, you guys are going to do the experiment because I like you guys. She took the water bottles that we brought in for our class and used it for first period, and they were so wrecked after they had used them. We could not use them anymore, and she didn't bother to say, hey, y'all aren't doing the experiment because y'all ran out of water bottles because I used them for first period. Instead, she just brushed on by it and continued with the lessons. And I'm like, this woman, I hate her.